Now, a photographer is aiming to capture portraits of 100 different centenarians, recording their stories, their life stories along the way.
Kevin Wilson initially photographed 20 100-year-olds more than a decade ago, with the collection turned into a book. Now he has revived the project and he's gathered more than 60 portraits so far. Just have a look at them.
Beautiful pictures there, all taken by Kevin Wilson, who joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning, John and Sally.
Originally, you were a wedding photographer, is that right?
I still am a wedding photographer. I've got one on Saturday.
Have you?
In St Albans.
But what is it about this particular project, capturing the faces, the lives of 100-year-olds, that's really caught your imagination?
Well, for me, it's the most wonderful project I've ever done. To meet these people, the characters, their stories, their humour, it's just beyond my wildest dream. Initially, I started to think, I just want to get 20 to get a fellowship, which I did. And then people said to me, oh, this is really beautiful, you should carry on. So we had COVID, and that put a stop to it. Couldn't get anywhere near a care home. And somebody last year happened to say to me, well, my father's going to be 100, would you take a few pictures? And I said, well, yes, I'd love to do so. And what happened was I went along there, and it then re-inspired me to go back out and take more. So now, as opposed to having the 20 that I shot in 2012, I'm now on 62 and looking for more. And I'm getting them as well. I've had calls from Peru, Canada. I'm not going to go there. I want to try and keep it as local as possible, but you know, I don't mind going to London or somewhere like that. But it's really, these people are remarkable. I mean, the lady behind you there, for example, she's 105 and she had her nails done for me.
And there is something about this generation, obviously, because they lived through the war, isn't it? There's something about the story behind the faces as well.
That's right.
So many pictures with medals or
I know. And do you know something? They're all very reserved. They don't really want to talk about it. And that's why this project has been so important. I want these people to be remembered. And by having a portrait taken like these, this makes sure that they are remembered. And they are timeless, and they're in black and white. As I'm going to take all pictures in colour, then convert them. I take all pictures in colour and then convert them. But for the people who I photograph, they can have them in colour or in black and white. I give them all the files. I print 4 pictures as well. And this gentleman I photographed last Friday. In his home, he was walking up and down the stairs. He's got his medals there. And he was quite into having his photograph taken. He really enjoyed the session. He was in the Merchant Navy in the war. He's telling me about being torpedoed. Wonderful guy. And that's his first pay slip from when he was in the army.
Gosh.
There's another picture of him with a letter his father had to write to the government to say that he was old enough to go to war. And while I was there, I looked around. He had a lovely home, and I noticed that he had a couple of papers there, and I picked up the daily paper, and he had actually just finished a crossword at 100 years of age. It would have been nice to have a couple of them up here, but to come up on the train from Dorset is a long way.
A long way.
It's a long way. But all these people have got great stories. And the lady behind you that you can see there now with the long hair, her name is Annie.
Annie.
She was 105 when I took her pictures. And
is that Annie Godfrey?
That's correct, yes. Yeah. And I went to the care home that she was in, and she was really wanting to have a picture taken. And when I got there, her hair was up into a ponytail. And we got discussing it, and she said, I always promised my father I would never have my hair cut, just to split ends. I tell you what, try telling that to my wife. And I can tell you, I said, would you mind if I let your hair down just to see how long it is? And then we took that, so she was remarkable. And then the Sid behind you, another veteran.
Which one's Sid?
Sid Cross.
Sid Cross.
Yeah.
Was an amazing character. He was still collecting for the poppies on up until he died. And he said, you can come any day you want but Wednesday. He said, because I have a bath on a Wednesday.
And it takes all day.
Yeah, he had such an amazing personality that it really came through, and he wanted to be part of the picture. So they've all got lovely, lovely stories.
Kevin, how important is it that you take those photographs in people's homes, in their environments, where they feel comfortable, where they've lived those lives?
Well, that's fantastic you said that, because you couldn't take them to a studio. Obviously, if you went to a studio, they'd feel intimidated, and it's just not where they're comfortable. In their own home, they're comfortable. So when I go into the place, I look around and I try and decide where's the best place to take a picture. All I look for is a window. I don't use any flash guns or anything. It's all very minimalist. And some of them are in wheelchairs. Some of them have got dementia. Last Friday, I photographed a lady who, Maylie, her name is, and she suffers from macular degenerative. And I didn't know much about that. And so I just said, this is the lady here. So she said, this is how most people see a picture. But for me, everything is very blurred. And so I said, well, I'd like to try and get that across into my vision of you, how you see yourself. And I said, you've got a very large TV screen. And she said, yes, but I can't see it. I can only hear it. Wow. So as she was sat there, I suddenly realised the TV was off and I could see her reflection in the TV screen. So I took that, and she said to me, well, if you can see that, that's how I see everyday life. So, and she swam, I think she did 3/4 of a mile in a swimming pool at the age of 90 to raise funds for them. Amazing, remarkable lady.
Amazing stories. They're beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
And if there was one 100-year-old that you wanted to capture, you haven't got yet, any?
Well, it's a bit like the Premier League, isn't it? You know, if I could get somebody, it'd be David Attenborough. And 3 Chelsea pensioners.
Oh,
OK.
That's what I'm after. But I've had a few links come through for me with a gentleman in London who's 103 and an artist and still working. So, yeah.
Kevin,
good luck with that.
We wish
Thank you
well.
very much.
Kevin Wilson.
Thank you.
Great to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.